That was it. I was ready to walk away from there, but Sony stopped me. Don't leave our uni special day for someone like him, she mumbled. I sat back down, feeling devastated. The priest recited the oaths and asked the bride and groom if they would take each other as the husband and wife respectively. They answered with I do. Then they were pronounced as married and got permission to kiss, in front of a crowded hall full of family members, relatives, friends, and colleagues. My sister kissed her husband with a bright smile plastered on her face, something I also dreamed about doing with Jungkook. But, well, everyone started talking and enjoying the ceremony as the bride and groom came down to greet everyone. I stood beside Sony, to be honest, hid behind her with my head hung low. I was feeling low and I didn't want Jungkook to see me like this with his possibly new partner. But he wasn't that kind of guy. He wasn't someone who would start dating someone while being on a break with me. Hey girl, he's staring at you. Why is that idiot staring at you while holding his new girlfriend's hand? She asked, making me peek from behind her shoulder. Seeing Jungkook directly staring at my barely hidden figure, I quickly looked away. Hey, don't call him an idiot, I said. Yeah, sure. But stop hiding. Why are you hiding? She asked, moving away and exposing me fully. No, please. I'm not ready to face him, pulling her in front of me. She sighed and let me hide behind her. Almost 30 minutes passed and I was still sticking with Sony. Jungkook also never left that girl's hand. They completely looked like a married couple. That girl was fixing his tie, giggling, holding his hands in every way. As everyone sat down to finally eat, that girl was even feeding Jungkook with her own hands, which he never allowed me to do in public. I really need some hair, Sony, I informed her and left. It was now very clear the next thing that I was going to hear from him would be our breakup news. I took a deep breath as I gripped onto the railing of the balcony. Cold and smooth night breeze hitting my skin, making my open hair dance gracefully. A cold tear came down after breaking the barrier of my eyes. I didn't even bother to wipe it off. It was cold outside, especially since I was wearing a sleeveless dress, but I didn't want to go inside anymore. I was slightly shivering in the cold when I felt something warm around my shoulder. Looking at my side, I saw a black blazer on my shoulder on a hand, which was tucking the blazer properly. I turned around completely to face that person. It's Jungkook. You will catch a cold, Ryan, he said as he pulled the collars of the blazer together to cover my chest as well. A tingling feeling erupted in my stomach. He was so close, our bodies were almost touching. I couldn't say anything. I just stood there, looking down. He also stood there without saying anything for a while. I missed you a lot, Ryan. He finally spoke up, making me look at him. I know what you are thinking right now. No, she isn't my crush or your new girlfriend. She's my cousin and her crush was here. So she asked for your help. She was the one who helped me to confess to you, so I couldn't reject her, he explained as I mentally sighed in relief. So that means we aren't breaking up, right? I slowly asked. Carefully, he looked at me. You thought we would break up? He asked. I slowly nodded. You really don't know exactly how much I love you, do you? He asked, and I couldn't help but cry again. Cry because I finally realized exactly how much I missed him and how much it scared me that he might break up. I was so scared. I made so many mistakes and I didn't even understand. I was scared to death that you might break up. I cried more as I left my hand fall on his chest. He didn't waste a second to pull me closer and hug me properly. It's okay, don't cry. It was my fault. He patted my back. No, I should have understood you. I claimed to love you, but I didn't even bother to consider your situations. I sobbed. It wasn't your fault. Your job is to love me, not to understand all my unspoken problems. You aren't a mind reader, are you? Plus, I'm sorry for asking for a break. This break was pointless and childish of me. If there's one thing this break taught me was the fact that it was mainly my fault. I claim to love you, but I can't even communicate properly. And the biggest realization this break gave me the fact that I'm doomed. He said. I broke the hug and looked at him. Why are you doomed? I asked. Because I missed you so crazily that I realize my life turns into a hell if I go by one day without you. I feel like I was dead in those past days. He said, making me giggle. I pecked his cheek and he smiled. I love you, my princess, and I missed you so much. He said, grabbing my chin and pulling up my face to attach his lips on mine. I smiled and wrapped my hands around his neck, pulling him closer and making the kiss deeper. None of us realized when he pinned me against the wall as we were too much into the kiss, until we heard a voice. Didn't you break up? She asked, crossing her arms over her chest. No, by the way, Ryan will be sleeping at my place today, so cover it up for her, okay? He asked, pulling me closer by my waist. Not until you give me some pocket money, Mr. Well-taking, she said. He gave her a thumbs up. Okay, take her, but don't get her pregnant. She gotta graduate and find a job first.